In the aftermath of World War II, the world stood at a pivotal crossroads. The devastation of the war had made it abundantly clear that a new way of keeping peace was desperately needed. It was at this historical juncture that the idea of the United Nations, an organization dedicated to promoting international cooperation and preventing future conflicts, began to take shape during the critical month of March in 1940. The groundwork for the United Nations was laid during several significant meetings and conferences. One such critical event was the Yalta Conference, held in February 1945, where the Allied leaders, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Winston Churchill, and Joseph Stalin, came together to discuss the reorganization of post-war Europe. At Yalta, the leaders reached an agreement on the necessity of establishing a new international organization to replace the League of Nations, which had proven ineffective in preventing global conflict. This agreement was a major step toward the March developments that would lead to the formation of the United Nations. As we step into March 1945, preparations for the United Nations Conference on International Organization, also known as the San Francisco Conference, began to intensify. Scheduled for April, this conference was to be the birthplace of the United Nations Charter. Delegates from 50 countries were invited to participate, representing a wide array of political ideologies and cultural backgrounds. The goal was ambitious: to draft a charter that would foster peace and cooperation while preventing the outbreak of another catastrophic world war. During this March period, extensive discussions and negotiations took place, addressing various contentious issues that needed resolution before the San Francisco Conference. Among these were the veto power provisions for the Security Council, the roles of smaller nations, and the scope of the organization's authority. Behind closed doors, diplomats, politicians, and experts worked tirelessly to negotiate terms that were acceptable to both the major powers and the smaller nations. This was a delicate balance, requiring both diplomacy and compromise to ensure that the new organization would be effective and inclusive. One of the significant breakthroughs during these March discussions was the agreement on the basic structure of the United Nations. This included the establishment of 6 principal organs: the General Assembly, the Security Council, the International Court of Justice, the Secretariat, the Economic and Social Council, and the Trusteeship Council. Each of these was designed to handle specific responsibilities, from maintaining international peace and security to promoting human rights and social progress. As March came to a close, the stage was set for the historic San Francisco Conference. The groundwork laid during this month was crucial in shaping a robust framework for international collaboration. The world was on the brink of a new era, driven by the hope that united efforts could finally ensure lasting peace. In conclusion, the developments in March 1945 were a decisive chapter in the birth of the United Nations. The visionaries and leaders of that time demonstrated an unparalleled commitment to crafting a better future. Their negotiations and preparations throughout this month laid the foundation for an organization that continues to play a vital role in global affairs. As we reflect on these developments, it becomes evident that March 1945 was not just a moment in time, but a turning point that set the world on a path toward unity and peace.